So, welcome everyone to our afternoon session. In the morning, you have heard in the keynote that with autonomous ALM, good times are coming ahead, right, in terms of efforts and the time you have to invest to run your applications. In the next half hour, we will show you what you can do already today to save time and efforts with automation. That's the whole idea of what we want to present. And I will just give a short introduction before we then give two examples of an interplay of automation engines that can be triggered from SAP Cloud ALM to perform remediation actions or overall reduce manual efforts. Let's start with the short overview to operations automation. As you might know, with SAP Cloud ALM for Operation, the goal is really to come from problem detection to the routing, then to problem resolution. And here, operation automations does bring the option to trigger corresponding so-called operation flows. What is the actual business needs? That should be pretty straightforward. Of course, we want to accelerate the resolution of problems we detect in the central monitoring capabilities of SAP Cloud ALM. Also, of course, we want to standardize what we are doing so that we get repeatable results, no matter who's in charge to actually handle the corresponding problems. And we also want to generate an audit trail so that it can also prove what had been done and adjust safe in terms of what we trigger on also the live system. Nevertheless, we also have to be flexible. It's one thing that you have some pre-thought processes, but in customer environments, we normally see the demand to also be able to adapt to specific needs, to have maybe an additional step in between. And that's what we try to do also without coding experience by, for example, coming up with low-code, no-code offerings there. And not surprisingly, our answer to that one is to allow from SAP Cloud ALM the orchestration of automation engines. And first of all, to have some kind of alert remediation, an issue comes up and you trigger then an automated reaction to it. And also to have standard operational procedures, for example, also related to hybrid landscapes so that they can trigger activities on all the different building blocks. No worries, I won't go through that picture. I'm pretty sure you have seen it again. That's just the functional overview of SAP Cloud ALM for Operations in overall. And on the side here we see, it's not visible here, okay. The operations automation building block, which can digest then the information that came from the different monitoring capabilities. And the idea is that it then triggers, here we go, different corrective actions then. And the good thing is we have different options because it also depends on what you actually want to do. On top, we have the so-called SAP Automation Pilot Service. That's a service coming from the SAP Business Technology Platform that allows you to perform corrective actions, for example, for your apps running on the SAP BTP environment, and also to perform manual operation tasks. In the middle, we have the SAP Build Process Automation, also a service from the SAP Business Technology Platform. For example, if you want to come up or trigger then workflows like for approval steps, or you want to handle fully automated task executions as well. And the good thing is now we also opened up, so now we are also supporting the triggering of non-SAP, meaning third-party automation engines out of the corresponding activities there. Let's take a first look at the SAP Automation Pilot Service. Again, as one example of an offering that is coming from SAP out of the box, so to say. Of course, you have to set it up and so on, but it's part of the overall SAP portfolio. So how does the interplay look like now from SAP Cloud ALM perspective with such an automation engine running on SAP Business Technology Platform? For those of you who should not know the SAP Automation Pilot, first of all, it's a low-code, no-code engine. It does provide catalogs of automated commands. Think of single building blocks. There we deliver 350, something like that, around typical operation tasks you have for applications mainly running on SAP BTP. Be it for app handling on Cloud Foundry, for example, on Kyma or on also Neo environment. Be it with SAP HANA Cloud, be it with SAP Integration Suite, and yeah, all the other means as well. So meaning you have single elementary building blocks, so-called actions, and with a graphical user interface, you can then compile it into an automated reaction. I always have to go over here. Somehow the clicker doesn't work otherwise, but we'll get it figured out. Yeah, it's integrated, not surprisingly. I mean, that's what it's all about today, right? I mean, to have the integration with SAP Cloud ALM. And yeah, we have also corresponding AI capabilities. And you might wonder, okay, how does that now come together? If you think of the high number of actions we do provide, it takes some forward investment to really get an idea of what they all are about, how to best make use of them. And with this GenAI command assistant, we turn it around. You rather can verbally describe what you want to do, like check my application on Cloud Foundry. If, for example, CPU usage is beyond a certain threshold, yeah, restart the application and collect the log file and put it into a Jira ticket, for example. And then what the command assistant does, it maps it actually to the corresponding commands in the automation pilot so that you do not get a black box execution, but really see if the mapping made sense and yeah, can really follow the steps, adapt it as well, extend it, so yeah, that you have confidence in executing it as well. In terms of the target groups, no surprises here. Of course, due to the low-code, no-code approach, we also allow both citizen developers and professional developers, meaning you can also bring in your own scripts if you like. Should be straightforward. And with that, we address the IT administrator and also, of course, the site reliability engineer with normally the platform. Here you see now the overview. In the middle, you see again the actual engine complemented with GenAI capabilities. Down on the lower part, we do provide those commands, which you can compile into own executions and bring in also your custom scripts if you like. The actual triggering of those commands then, of course, happens mainly from SAP Cloud ALM. We see that on the left side. Of course, you could also have ad hoc triggerings from your DevOps teams that say, okay, yeah, now I, for example, have automated the provisioning of a new sub-account with entitlements and role assignments and so on. I just go in there and trigger it whenever I need it. Or I have a scheduling possibilities, or I use webhooks. And what it then does is it performs the corresponding actions on the platform, like mentioned before, here on the right with HANA Cloud, the different runtime environments, the resources of the business technology platform, and other services. And of course, it can also trigger, of course, third-party tools with corresponding APIs like Dynatrace, ServiceNow, Jira, you name it. And the interplay, also not surprisingly, I mean, we see that on the right side, is we do want to allow that, yeah, SAP Cloud ALM does collect a matrix. You see that something goes into the wrong direction and then are able to trigger out of the context corresponding commands that then perform actions on the platform again or on your applications. And for that, we have provided a catalog of commands now starting with the health monitoring of SAP Cloud ALM that also allow you then to make the corresponding interplay as well. And the idea is that you then compile corresponding activities. We started here with a focus on CAP applications, Cloud Application Programming Model, so that is the standard recommended approach for development there. And yeah, with that you get tuned content and also, of course, you get the context information, meaning when you trigger it from Cloud ALM, you get also the execution information in that central place and can hand over the corresponding context then for the execution. Let's start, give you a very brief demo. I will have a recorded one just for timing purposes here. Let me see if I get it running. Here we go. So here we have the example of an alert that has been sent via email. In that example, we have a Java memory warning that, yeah, there's something going wrong with the corresponding consumption. So far, so good. I mean, we can, of course, directly jump into the health monitoring here. And, of course, see also the corresponding situation reflected in the corresponding entry page. Here we see this Java memory where we see, yeah, it's beyond a certain threshold that caused the corresponding warning coming up. Of course, we can also dig here into health monitoring into more details, meaning we get the history of the past hours in terms of, yeah, how did it evolve? And we see exactly when we take a look at the last 1 hour that it's really, yeah, taking a certain threshold here. And when we go to alerting, we see exactly the corresponding alerts. And what we can do now is that, yeah, of course, we get also more details there. But now under actions, we can now trigger a corresponding recommended action here. In that example, yeah, we go to actions, select start operation flow. And here you see you really react out of the context. Here we have modeled 2 automated reactions because we see that is something that fits for this kind of application. One is schedule maintenance and the other one will be an upscaling, not very sophisticated, but just to get the idea across, right? Of course, you could also combine that. When you start the operation flow, we see also in the monitoring then the status. In that example, we have modeled interactive executions. Of course, when you get confidence, you could also automate it directly. And you can directly jump into the automation pilot. Here we have to perform a manual confirmation. The idea is that you can specify how long the scheduled maintenance shall be. But as mentioned before, of course, you normally can also have best practices and then directly automate it. And we see here now the execution. Of course, it's a very simple one. You see those 2 activities. One is maintenance duration input and then set maintenance. And those are the single actions I've meant before, the building blocks which you can put together. Then we can go into, again, here the business service management, where we then also see the corresponding schedules that are coming up for the planned maintenance. Shouldn't be a surprise here. Yeah, of course, that this is transparency that is being provided. We see also this corresponding transparency when we go then again in health monitoring. Also there you want to see what is there in terms of planned maintenance. That also goes hand in hand, of course. So let's just jump there again to the home screen. And here we see in the environment, we have the corresponding event also coming up. Then, of course, we also want to trigger the alert remediation. And again, we go again to the alert and to the action and can trigger then the second one. As mentioned before, I mean, of course, we now have it very modularized with input. Again, you could, of course, make that more sophisticated by time, but just again to see or give you insights on what is also running in the background. We see now a second operation flow that is being triggered. Again, we have the status in health monitoring on it. Here we see a little bit more complex operation where you again see the single steps, and we see here is an input required for defining the memory. We just put it in to give you an idea. I mean, here we have some choices that we have added into the process. Of course, also here you could normally derive something with a little bit more logic and then also perform an automated remediation if you want to do so. Before now triggering that, yeah, not surprisingly, we take a short look at the current application. Again, we have the S-Flight application. We also saw this morning. And yeah, not surprisingly, we can again then see the execution. I mean, it's not rocket science, but the good thing is you have the transparency on what is being performed. You could, in principle, also now go into SAP Automation Pilot Extended, for example, with the Gen AI assistant, or if you have own commands, for example, in the end, if you want to add some activities there. And we see that it's correspondingly executed, and we can go to the alert in health monitoring. But again, in health monitoring, you see the status of the operation flows, you can trigger the execution, and then, of course, also confirm the corresponding result. Okay, just to give you an idea. And as mentioned before, we now have extended it. I mean, that's something that is coming with the platform. But many of you, I'm pretty sure many of you have already some kind of automation engine of choice, right? And made also some investments there, have come up with own workflows. That's why we have extended SAP Cloud ALM to be flexible there as well. Again, to enable the execution of corrective actions initiated by SAP Cloud ALM events in your automation and orchestration engine of choice. And with that, you can make use of those investments, can reuse existing workflows, jobs, and automations. And of course, we open up the field for our partners to develop automations then and integrate it directly. And let's take a look at that as well. And I'm very happy to have Nick Farhar here as well from BCS, and he will show us now the integration into Symphony. Nick, thanks a lot. Your stage.
Yeah, thanks, Boris, for having me on stage. So I will talk a little bit about BCS, what we are doing in the automation orchestration space, and then also try to give a live demo on how we process or intelligent process reprocessing IDOC messages from Cloud ALM within our Symphony platform. So let's dive into it. BCS, Business Core Solutions. We are a company who are a global company who are focusing on creating opportunities for people with a challenging background. So that we do mainly within our main office in Chennai, in India. And there we educate young people and people with challenging background into our beloved IT world. We deliver a global support organization. I have it similar like you, Boris, that we need to get close to get to the next sheet. We are delivering 24/7 support with SAP, but also Salesforce and any other application throughout the world. We do that for a lot of customers globally, and locally we do that together with our local service providers. Our flagship product, which we got, is Symphony. It started in 2018, where we automated any SAP basis activity into the platform, and I will show you later on how it looks like. And from that way on, we grew in different areas. So also on public clouds, if you do a deployment, you do a complex migrations, we automate, orchestrate that into to our workflow platform, and that we did similar with the new SAP products, Cloud ALM, SAP BTP, and other SAP applications. We got 400 plus standard functions, which you can easily drag, drop, low code, no code, into a workflow solution and create your step 1, step 2 procedure, which you want to do. That can be on any level, so on infrastructure level, on database level, on application level, or on business level. Because we also have the integrations with all the ITSM solutions like Jira, ServiceNow, basically anything which has an API, we can deliver those automations or those automation workflows directly to end users. So for example, if you need to unlock a SAP user, you can provide that in your ServiceNow system. The end user only have to use that automation from within ServiceNow, and then the automatic platform Symphony handles all the activities, collect the audit logging, and updates that into ServiceNow. So that's basically zero touch for the users. We also introduced the beginning of this year our agentic part within our platform. So we also built agents which can handle any automation task over there. I will not show it today, but we just go into the simple use cases. Symphony, then orchestration platform. So that's basically the orchestration platform which can help you automate any work instruction which you got in your company. most of all, we are focused first on the infrastructure part. So like I said, the different levels, but also from that way on, creating zero-touch automation, and now also providing auto-healing. The auto-healing function I will showcase you where we pick up events in Cloud ALM and then kick off remediation workflows in Symfony, collect data, update Cloud ALM, and then the event which is hanging or the alert which pops up is then automatically remediated. That we can do with SAP applications, but also with non-SAP applications. Then some features which we got in the platform. Let's go. We got a replay test automation, so we can execute any test automation activity. We have business operations into play, so if you want to facilitate, automate your year-end closure, we can completely do that within our platform. Also, if it spans over multiple applications, so maybe in SAP, you have some year-end closure which you need to do. You have some sales data which you need to get from Salesforce. We can combine that into one workflow. We got a full background job management solution, so you can replace anything from Control-M or Redwood totally in our solution itself. And we also got a part which is about license measurement and management, so we can actually give you insights in your SAP license usage throughout your enterprise application landscape. We are fully certified on different levels within SAP. We have the integrations with development tools, so we can get your current scripting and your current scripts already into the workflows where you can then easily use them in that simple workflow mode. We can connect to the ITSM solutions, like I said, and with every public cloud provider, which we can natively integrate with. Let's then go to our customer base. So we are providing a lot of customers globally, where we do really nice features. One of them is, for instance, Heineken, where we have a automated to complete end-to-end system copy, multiple system copy landscape solution into that. So we copy like 36 to 40 applications in a weekend just with a click of a button, instead of doing that manually with a lot of people with a duration of 2 weeks. So those kind of use cases you see everywhere within our company. But also on local level, we do it, for instance, in the Netherlands, in the Dutch market, with one of our partners, CIMAC, where we automate their day-to-day operations, where they're providing automated solutions towards their customers. And then over to the demo, I think. So I will show you something. It's also here a quick overview in the integration monitoring in Cloud ALM, and then show you how we pick it up and kick it and remediate it with Symfony in our platform. And of course, there are multiple actions which we can do. Today, we are only showing the reprocessing of the IDOCs, but we can, for instance, do SSL certificate renewals so that you get an event in Cloud ALM where you monitor your certificate expiration dates. We can pick that up and then completely get those SSL certificates signed, replaced into the applications, and collect all logging and send that forward to Cloud ALM. But also some business scenarios like customer invoice processing that we can also do with Symfony and the integration. So let's go into the third-party automation connection. Oh, I'm already. So this is Cloud ALM, I think most of you will know. And then in the operation modes, you first have to configure the webhook. You have to do the mapping of the actual workflows to the events which are occurring into Cloud ALM. If you then go into the exception monitoring. So for this case, I created an accident, which is an IDOC. Then IDOC which fails. I think a lot of you already did. And what we now did is then Symfony automatically detects these kind of alerts in Cloud ALM, picks them up, and then starts reprocessing this IDOC. In this case, you see the mapping. I think Boris also showed in his demo that a lot of things are mapped into these messages. In this case, it created or triggered a workflow. In this case, this is a workflow number in a Symfony, so let me log on to Symfony automation platform. Normally what you will see is that it automatically picks it up and reprocesses the whole workflow. In this case, for the demo purpose, I build in a delay so that I can actually show the message, because else I didn't have had the alert, it was already reprocessed. So we are a low-code, simple workflow solution where you see a great overview. Here I can just restart or review the logs if I want. I can update a step and I can also restart it. So in this case, I will restart the delay. And then it will start reprocessing the IDOC. So it connects to Cloud ALM, it connects to the backend system where it needs to be reprocessed. And this processing normally takes 30 to 60 seconds to do the full reprocessing of this activity. So actually this, what you see here, this overview is a simple workflow version where we have the standard building blocks, which we have already built into Symfony, where you can easily start and also create your own workflows. Of course, we also have a rich database with predefined templates, thousands predefined templates where you can easily use them, do a little bit of configuration, add your own steps if necessary, and then you can start right away with automating any activity or any runbook which you had into your company. So let's see if this reprocessing is working. It always takes a little bit of time. Yeah, so here you see then it's already starting the next steps, so it's now busy with the next steps. We not only use this for day-to-day operations, we also use this platform to automate any complex migrations. So for some of our customers who are moving to a cloud solution or moving to a cloud platform, you have to do a lot of steps, and probably not for one application, but for multiple applications. We can also model those activities into our workflows and then execute it for multiple applications. So in this case now, I think it's completely processed. So let us go back to Cloud ALM. They will refresh. Then you see the open alerts is in this case reprocessed and is executed. Yeah, I think that's basically what we see here. So like Søren also said in the introduction on the keynote, there are 220 million events kicked off already in Cloud ALM. Yeah, if you have to manual process them, that's not going to work. So with solutions like us and with the third-party connector option, which Cloud ALM is providing, you can automate all those activities. So that's basically what we do with Symfony: automate and all those next steps. So I think in the end, if we go to wrapping it up, so I think Boris, if you also come on stage, there are a few key learnings which we have on our side. And one of them was that, with the external tool option, it definitely helps us to automate all those activities, not only activities which needs to be performed in SAP, but also on other application or other layers. So it can be infrastructure, it can be any other SaaS solution. So basically anything which has an API. And I think
thanks.
a few items to add from your side.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, for me, it's important that you really got aware that there are options already today, right, to reduce the efforts, and you have the choice. I mean, we have the integration there with SAP engines, with the automation pilot, like seen today, with the SAP build process automation, and now also with non-SAP solutions. And there you have really the choice to really make best use of what you have already in place or where you want to invest. And as we have seen, I mean, BCS Symfony is now the first external tool, but it's a very good example. And we also have here a corresponding booth where you can get more information. For automation pilot service, we bring this pre-configured commands that you can make best use of if you are using, for example, SAP Business Technology Platform. So both have their strength, and with that, we think we have a very compelling overall offering. With that, thanks a lot for the interest. I think we don't have that much time now as part of the session, but we are around, of course, here now right after the session. Also, the booth is
Yeah, so I want
on the
to challenge
side, right?
everyone, because we always say we can automate anything which is there. And of course, there are some things which we cannot automate, but please challenge us. We have a booth over here. So come by. I think you will also join
Yeah,
Boris
yeah.
right after this if you have still questions regarding this topic. And yeah, feel free to connect with us.
Absolutely, and I also want to thank Patrick. So he's also here the expert from SAP Cloud LM side. Thanks a lot, Patrick, also for the support. And you get also or got already our contact information. Do not hesitate to reach out if you want to have a more detailed demo or some sample examples of what you can do with the automation frameworks. Thanks a lot again, and yeah, happy automating, and hope to see you
Yes.
later then. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Nick, again. Yeah.
You're welcome.